presented by Caltech.
So welcome to the third edition of AI for Science. How many of you were there for the very first one? The second one? So welcome back. Otherwise, welcome to the third edition. So what's AI for Science? If we look today in different areas of sciences, data is ever growing. Right? We've come up with better techniques, better high-throughput devices to generate better quality and also larger amounts of data. And that is where all these different areas at Caltech have been developing methods to do better, whether it comes to material sciences, protein engineering, discovering drugs, measuring high-energy physics particles in high-energy physics. So all these aspects require better devices, better engineering. But then once that data is available, what do we do with it? And then we also have AI techniques getting better every day. We are amidst a deep learning revolution, but also marrying deep learning with all other techniques, probabilistic methods, Gaussian processes. So how do we come up with ways to have better AI algorithms and apply them to these rich forms of data? Right, so a lot of us in machine learning and artificial intelligence tend to focus on benchmarks, right? The field is set on a few benchmarks that are created to test algorithms. But I view that many of these benchmarks are flawed or highly limiting. So the algorithms that may work very well on the benchmarks can completely break down in the real world. Right, so we call this leaderboard chasing, and that's not healthy for the community. And that's where I see the role of AI for science being a big one, because if we can get data of many different forms and solve problems that really are relevant, right? So if we can show performance gains or make new discoveries in these areas of sciences, to me, those are much better benchmarks to design and solve compared to the more artificial ones we tend to create in the field of machine learning. So I think that's the other aspect of AI for science, where, yes, we as AI scientists can help people in the other sciences and help them come up with better experimentation techniques, better ways to collect data, better ways to make sense of data. But the other way is also true, where we can get help from scientists in all these other domains to help us decide which algorithms work well, how to design new AI algorithms, and take that to the real world. And that's what we are striving for this to happen here at Caltech, and that's the AI for Science initiative, to bring the community together here at Caltech. And I think I already made this point that AI by itself is not enough, right? It needs to be grounded with the domain constraints and domain knowledge. And so this purely data-driven black box deep learning method is most likely not going to be the answer for most problems. And that's why it's important to ground this in different domains and understand the constraints of the domain as well as other prior knowledge in the domain, and connect it with the AI algorithms. Just as an example, if we are doing autonomous driving, we are not going to have like one end-to-end algorithm, right? There are several stages in which you have to proceed, and you want to debug and ask if each stage how well it works, what are the failure cases, how do failures propagate, and what are the real-world conditions that the car could face. Right? There could be like pedestrians who could come in the middle of the street. How should it react? And what if there is inequity? Fairness in machine learning is a big area now. And so what if it recognizes some pedestrians but not the others? Right? So how do you launch these problems into the real world? And if these AI algorithms do not treat everybody in the same way, this is a huge issue. So these are all problems we can get guidance from different scientific domains and ask how AI algorithms can make an impact there. So here at Caltech, given our small size, we've managed to have highly interdisciplinary collaborations. So you can see that AI for Science is an ever-growing community here, and it's spread all over campus, right? And you can see almost all areas here are represented. We have the humanities and social sciences. We have neuroscience, biology, physics, mechanical and aerospace. So almost every area you can think of is represented here. And if you're already not part of it, you're always welcome to join. And that's what the hope of these events are, to bring people together and start out discussions and start new projects. And so the main form of our communication is this mailing list. It's machinelearning@caltech.edu. If you haven't already signed up, I encourage you to do that. So in addition to these AI for Science activities, we'll be posting all machine learning related talks, job postings, internships, all kinds of information in the general area of machine learning. So I encourage you to join that. And last year we had office hours, and we'll soon restart that this year. And the idea is office hours are kind of scaled down versions of this, right? So there won't be talks, but there'll be informal discussions where people can bring their problems that involve AI, and students in AI will be volunteering to help and discuss with students from other domains. And so we hope to, again, start that. So, and indeed, Sydney has been really instrumental in putting all this together. She's made this happen in a very short amount of time. So special thanks to her. So today we have an exciting program where you can see that many different areas are represented here. And we'll first start with a keynote by Yisong Yu, and laying out the foundations of machine learning. And after that, there'll be these short talks that look at applying AI to different domains in the sciences.